Hey everybody, welcome to another Metaphysics and Makeup. For those who don't know, my name's Dottie. I am the brightest star, and basically we talk about everything that Bailey Sarian doesn't talk about. So ghosts, aliens, chakras, all the things. So, however, today is going to be a little different. It's a little less metaphysics and makeup, a little more like wine and makeup. Yes, this is a whole cup. Yes, I own wine glasses. Do I care about a wine glass today? Fork no. I'm just thinking to myself, we're only doing this because we don't have tequila. Someone left this wine at my house. This is not very good wine. Do I plan on drinking this whole thing? Yes. Do I plan on drinking it all before this video is over? No. I'm probably going to have to put this wine in something. I do have a bunch of frozen fruit. Okay, anyways, let's get into it. So today's going to be like super different. Not only did we bring wine into the whole thing, however, we're also not going to necessarily be talking about metaphysics, more so about, and also before anybody else points it out, yes, I have cat ears on. Yes, it has been that type of day, and I don't want to hear it. Thank you very much. I'm just lucky that my cat ears match with this random outfit, which thank God you can't see the rest of me because nothing matches. And if you know me, that's important. Importante. Believe it or not, because you guys can't always see my outfit, but my makeup always matches with my outfit. It is just a character flaw that I have that I have to live by. However, and those who know me know, like, Dottie always has to match. It's just a thing. Like, I honestly dream that, like, whoever my future whatever is, because, like, at this point, I'm not necessarily looking, I'm just open to the idea of. However, it'd be totally cute if we could wear, like, matching outfits and, like, all the things and take pictures together and be all cute and coupley. And I think it sounds better in theory sometimes than, like, actually doing it. Anyways, so today I honestly just want to talk about some of the things I have learned over this year. And honestly, how this year has gone for Dottie. Because Dottie is just going to be transparent as fork today. I was about to say, my whole office is backwards right now. So let's start like back in January, right? So back in January, my little blackness decided, ooh, let's get some Moldavite. And this was like literally right before everybody was like, oh yeah, let's get Moldavite. Moldavite's like the coolest thing, right? So, and like the reason being is that like on my like YouTube feed, because at that time I wasn't like huge into the TikTok world, but like on my YouTube feed, like one of my favorite people on YouTube had mentioned how like they had gotten some Moldavite, and I was like, ooh, okay, I don't know much about this, but it sounds super dope. And then like a couple like other videos of Moldavite popped up, and I was like, oh, snap, let's get some Moldavite. And it just so happened that literally when I tell you, it was right before, like a week or so before everybody decided they were going to buy Moldavite, because the next day the lady that I bought it from, like both of her pieces were gone, because she only had like 2 pieces. But I made sure that like the person that I got my Moldavite from, she's local to my area, so she's like a couple hours away, and I sat on the phone with her for like a good half hour and like talked about it and like some other stuff too, you know. So, but she was like super dope, and I was like, yeah. So I ended up buying the Moldavite, and I got it. And like the thing about Moldavite, and I have a video like right after I got my Moldavite, and it was basically me saying like some of the things that had happened within like a 2-week span of me having it, right? So one thing, I don't know why all of a sudden my phone's active. Like, sometimes I literally wonder, like, why do I pay my phone bill when no one ever uses my number? Anyways, granted, only like 5 people have my number because I'm that person, but still, I think I might have blended a little too hard over here because I don't know exactly what we're doing. I might do, like, I don't know. I'm not feeling like super adventurous and crazy today, but you know, after I finish this, I'm just gonna go sit on the couch and anyways, back to the Moldavite. So after I got the Moldavite, like, things changed pretty quickly, right? Like, I noticed that, like, the people that I was associated with, literally within, like, the first week of having Moldavite, one of the people I was associated with, a reader, just, like, our whole, like, connection exploded for no reason. Well, there were reasons. She was hella shady. Like, she kept on throwing shade at me. Like, I would be doing lives and stuff. And, like, my best friend peeked at first. She was like, this person's hella shady and you need to cut her off. We're not actually friends anymore. That was another part of the Moldavite or something. So the universe was like, no, bitch. Anyways, but she was like, no, this person's like hella shady. Like, who is this person? And I was like, oh no, they mean no harm, blah, blah, blah. They're just like, I blamed it on their region. I was like, oh, they're from New York. Like, just don't mind her. She's just, you know, whatever, being naive and like all the things. But then somebody else that I had met through this person was like, yo, like, went on live and was like, no, what I did, and I was like, oh, snap, I'm gonna take this as a whole sign that I should cut this person off too. And like, I just removed the person from like my groups and everything. I didn't say anything. Partially because I didn't want confrontation, because like at that point I cared more about confrontation than I do now. Now, say something. You know, maybe that's more so what this year was about for me. It was really getting back to myself and finding myself. So like the whole thing blows up with this person, and like it kind of stings at first because like what pissed me off about this particular person is I knew they were going through some things in their personal life, and I had messaged them a week before any of this started. And that's why I was like, okay, well, obviously this person isn't for me. They don't give it about me or my feelings, because I messaged them a week beforehand, not wanting anything other than to say like, hey, are you okay? Like, I know you're going through some stuff. Like, are you good? No. Too good for that. But then they sent me like this mile-long message and blocked me. I didn't block them. I didn't even unfriend them. But then what I find funny is that this person is so dim. And I kind of hope that they end up seeing this. Hello. But I kind of hope that they end up seeing this because this person is so dim. I run 2 Facebook groups. Why are they constantly posting in my other Facebook group? I see you. Hello. So anyways, and it was kind of like stuff like that kept on happening. You know, like this person, oh, they're no good. This person, oh, they're no good. And then something happened with Facebook itself where it kept on I would get approved for these groups to be able to read. And then something would happen in the group. Like there's this one group and it's one of the biggest reading groups on Facebook. And I got kicked out of it. Why? I have no idea. When my lives in that group were bringing in like 150 people every time I went live. People were literally looking forward to me going live because I'm just a whole vibe. Especially when I'm live, I am like a whole vibe. If you ever watch my pick a cards, just imagine that with music and a bunch of people. Like, hello, super fun. So anyways, because I'm like not doing my makeups, but anyways, like I ended up getting kicked out of Facebook groups. So just like little things start to happen. Not long after that, like, me and my bestie, I start to see her as just, like, I love her to death, and if she sees this, I love her, but as a not very mature person, because I'm not gonna paint her in, like, a horrible light, but I just saw her as, like, not very mature, you know, and needing to really take some time to grow up, you know, and she had, like, this whole moment, and me and the guy I was dating at the time, she was like, oh yeah, because she called him dad for some reason, but anyways, she was like, yeah, you and dad should, like, come and go on a date, and I was like, honestly, the way you just told me that you acted on your date, he's not going to tolerate at all, and neither am I, because I'm a grown-ass woman, I don't have time to be acting the way you just did. So, like, I tell her this, and, like, around this time, I couldn't with her antics, her behavior anymore, so I ended up having to let her go. I ended up getting on the app Clapper, and, like, around this time, a friend of mine who also I'm not friends with anymore, the lesson this year for me has been to just let go. Like, basically, you don't need friends. You don't need family. You don't need people. But anyways, around this time, like, a friend of mine had suggested, one friend had suggested Clapper, and the other one had suggested basically, like, hey, what you need to do is, like, learn how to loosen up, because I'm a very serious person. Like, I know on the TT, somebody was like, oh, like, why do you talk like that? I talk like that literally. I talk like this all the time. Like, whether I'm up, whether I'm down, like, there might be a little inflection here and a little, like, goof here and, like, you know, the voices. But other than that, I literally talk the same all the time. Except for when the wine starts hitting, just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay. So I get on Clapper, and, like, that was cool for a while until, you know, I'm just coming to realize that maybe me and people aren't, like, made for each other, like, on personal levels. Like, and it's so sad, because if you know me, and then, like, if you were to go around my little town and, like, ask about me, most people know me. Oh, hey! Like, some people know me by, like, different names. Like, there's this one guy who I had to finally get him to stop calling me gonorrhea girl, because I used to work as a peer educator. So, basically, what I would do is walk around, like, educating people about things. And, like, it just so happened that the time that he met me, we had, like, this little right? So, like, it had, like, all these questions and stuff on it, and it just so happened that one of the questions was about gonorrhea, and I think it was, like, the way gonorrhea can be spread, and it's one of those that can be spread digitally. And what I mean by digitally is, like, them fingers, you touch, they touch, you both infected, grosses, okay? It can happen. Don't play. Yes, there are some STDs that can literally be spread just by your fingers. Kind of gross. Super gross. I wonder why I'm single. Because I just run around with all the STD facts in my head. Birth control facts, all in the head. All in the head. So anyways, I get on this app, and I start meeting people, and it goes cool, but then it, like, I don't even use the app like that anymore. I have 2 Clappers. One is supposed to be for, like, business. I get, like, no views on that bitch. So I post, I leave it. And then what bothers me about this particular app is, you know what makes the most views for me on this app? The videos where I'm going in on somebody about something. I get thousands of views. Almost as many views as I have followers. I almost said subscribers, but as I have followers. To me, that all make no sense. I don't know, and because of that, I started to have, like, a real problem with that particular app. And then So I started the year out in a relationship, and then, which was so stupid. Okay, so let me tell you, like, the guy I was dating, pretty amazing guy. The type of guy that a lot of women would like, oh my goodness, he's willing to wait until I'm ready. Something I learned about my life, thank God, because I had really messed around, and before I was with him, I was like, I want to transcend past primal needs, right? Because like that was something that was like a huge basis. Most of my relationships were primal needs. You dig? Okay. So, and I was like, no, I'm better than this. I deserve better. And something I want in this lifetime is to transcend past this. The universe was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, I want to transcend. I don't want this to be a normal part of whatever. Universe was like, okay, babe, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna send Mr. Delicious over here, because, he's pretty delicious. But the issue is he's gonna want to wait until you guys get married. What? Cool in theory. Totally cool in theory. Problem. I realized through this relationship, that's part of my love language. Being intimate is literally part of my love language. So I need it to be a part of my relationship. And then I started to like express this, and like that was one thing I learned how to start expressing myself more. I was in a not so savory situation like before that, and I had lost so much of myself. It was like a combination of things that really just made me lose who I am and who I was at my core. So really, when it came down to it, I went with things for a while, and then I was like, no, bro, like, this isn't working for me. Like, I'm in need of some things. We had like these weird moments where like I would want to express myself and he would not be willing to have conversations, and like maybe that was like the universe telling me that like, hey, we desire people in our life that we can actually have conversations with. This is gonna be a long video for no reason, okay? But apparently this is my life story and where the wine is taking me today. Okay. So I realized that like I could not be in a relationship like that anymore. And there were other things that like culminated that made me just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So on top of that, like I ended up losing my two best friends. That sucked. That hurt, and those were more my home skillets. However, and if they see this, I still have mad love for you, but I realized that they were a contributing factor to me not being able to express myself. It wasn't necessarily their fault per se, but like in a lot of ways I felt like I was stifled because like I'm an extra person. When I say that I don't just act this way because there's a camera in front of me, I mean that to my core. I do not just act like this because there is a camera in front of me. I am literally like this 90% of the time. Like if I am comfortable with you, I am like over the top for no reason. Like, what are you doing, Dottie? Like, what are you doing? So something that I realized is a trigger for me is when you say I'm too much. even if you mean it in like a playing manner. And that's something that I've had to stop myself from saying. I've had to stop myself from doing, because I'd be like, oh my God, girl, you just too much over there. Too much. And if I say that, trust and believe, you doing too much. You're doing too much. This is normally a phrase I use with children, and I let them know, like, you're doing too much. You need to calm it down. You need to bring it back. Bring it back. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Bring it back. Bring it back. Because we doing just a twee bit too much. And it's normally when, like, my nephew will take and, like, pour something on the floor and then be like, ha, 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 ha. You know what I mean? Like, sir, you are doing too much. Bring it back. Bring it back. Find some other way. Let's do something else. Or when they're like smacking each other too much, bring it back. It's not when they're expressing themselves. But anyways, I realized that like really bothers me. And like I've learned, and I think because of that, I've learned to kind of like keep people at a distance, because I don't want to be too much for anybody. I don't want to feel like I have to stifle myself. I don't want to feel like I have to be something that I'm not, or tone myself down in order to make somebody happy or to feel comfortable in my presence. Like, if you can't accept me for exactly how it is, for exactly who it is that I am, because I know that I'm a lot. And I will tell you that when you first meet me. What is a lot to handle? But I'm worth it. Where a lot of people are just a lot to handle and they're not worth it. I'm not drama, I am dramatic. And there's a difference. There's a reason why after the first line, my teacher was like, oh, she's a natural when it came to acting, okay? Like, these are just little things that I've noticed. Another thing that I've kind of like gotten to the point of is that, like, first off, family has never meant much to me. Which is a lie and the truth at the same time, right? Because I have a South Node Cancer. I have a Cancer moon. So family is so important to me. My family, bless. So that's something like Christmas is right around the corner. Like, literally tomorrow's Christmas Eve. And I've been meaning to, for like a week, call my family and wish them happy whatever. It's been a half an hour and we've been drinking wine and half-assed doing our eyeshadow. This is either going to be a lot of editing or I'm just gonna give it to you guys raw, like the dog. Whoa, Daddy needs to put down that. Put down the wine. Because the thoughts are just... It's been a long time, y'all. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left me without a dope beat to step. No? I plan on drinking for the rest of the week. So... Except for tomorrow, because I get to see my princess for the last time this year, which is like... And then, you know, it's... Saturn made me grow up this year, which has been like a really wow type thing for me. It's not that like it's been bad, because I did need to grow up in a lot of different ways. I will completely admit that I did need to grow the fork up. However, Saturn decided he was just gonna kick me until I got it. And I feel like he's still kind of kicking me, and I haven't completely gotten it, because there are parts of my life, because I'm not like a lot of people. I'm not necessarily here to sit here and like paint this beautiful picture that like my life is just so grand, because it's really not. Like, plain and simple, I've cried more this year than I have in almost a decade. I realized that my friends, nothing. Family, nothing. The two people I care about the most in this world are both minors. So that means that I either have to deal with the people that they're associated with or just pray that they're okay. So one, I waited basically 7 years for, which is what I get to see tomorrow. And then the other one is like, that's my homie, that's my OG, that's... And anybody that knows us knows exactly who it is I'm talking about. There is no doubt in anybody's mind, oh, she's talking about blank, because if you were to see us together, it's like, we're like this. We're like two peas in a pod. As soon as we lock eyes, where one goes, the other one goes. Like, yes, there's a 21-year gap. I don't care. That is my best friend. I do not care. That's my best friend. You can't tell either one of us otherwise. And I dare you try and say something about me in front of her and watch her. She's gonna either do the passive aggressive thing. She'll be like, oh, bet you want to talk about auntie? I'm gonna show you what you get talking about auntie. She's gonna do some passive aggressive little sneaky stuff, or she's gonna straight up just blow up. Either one we've been working on. You know, I'm gonna be honest, her mama probably wouldn't have so many problems if she just let me see my baby a little more often, because, like, you can't be treating mama like that. And she's like, I don't like her. People who watch your kids normally know more about your home situation than what it is you'd like for them to know. And I just would like for you to know that. Anyways. And unfortunately, because these two people are minors, I have to either be associated with their guardians or not see them. And I have not seen one of them since like August. And the other one I still get to see. Partially because I think her mom knows that I will throw a whole fit. And I mean a whole fit if she does not let me see my baby. Partially because, like I said, I waited 7 years for this baby. I sat there, I looked at my princess, the older princess, and I was like, she's about to go to school, and I need a new princess that I can train straight out of the pot. And she didn't understand what I was saying, but I even talked her into saying when she would have the baby and all the things. I was like, pick a month. And she was like, June or May or whenever she said. And I was like, okay, bet. And yeah, don't play. Dottie wants something, Dottie will get it. I'm very, very resourceful. And I will get what it is what I desire. So don't play. Anyways, that being said, I have not been to a family function since July, when my uncle said that I was going to go to hell because I was telling him about voodoo practices. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to hell. And at that point, I was like, you know what? This tequila is not enough to make me like you guys. So I'm leaving. And I have refused to go back. I have seen that uncle maybe twice since then. And it hasn't necessarily been... He has a very intrusive aura. And a lot of my family members do. And it's icky. Like, it really is icky. And it makes me have to, like, clean myself after I get away from them. So it's not worth it to me to spend time with these people. Like, I know it might sound like, oh, whatever, if you're not, like, on that level. Like, what are you talking about, Dottie? I don't have control of my aura. Like, I know it sounds like whatever. Like, you would, if you can see auras, my aura is constantly doing this. constantly. I can't help it. You would never think that I did a whole like aura meditation earlier, and like, yeah, as much as I do it, my aura just gets bigger and like this. So I just absorb the crap that's around me. Like sometimes it gets to the point where I will literally lock myself in my own bedroom away from my animals. Like, I love my animals. I do everything I can to make sure they're fed. I guess I need to do everything I can to make sure that if I were to have an untimely demise, they would have someplace to go, which apparently means that I need to have people in my life that are worthy. Yet to find that. So, and then the people I'm like, oh, they're a pretty cool person. That's why. Daddy's just like bitter sometimes when it comes to the human race. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. And the main reason why I'm bitter when it comes to the human race isn't like, it's just the fact that like, I just want to love everybody. Like, the only thing I really want in my life is to love and to be loved. And I know my animals love me. That's one thing I will say. I know that they love me. But the human race, family, poop, friends, what are those? Work colleagues, fuck that. Like, I guess that's something that kind of gets to me is the fact that like I've had multiple people be like, oh, she's like basically like trying to say that I'm like jealous of their like whatevers. I am never, that's one thing about me. Obviously, you don't know me if you ever think that I'm jealous, because I don't ever get jealous. The only thing that I get is more like self-loathing. Like, I'm just being transparent here. Like, I will get more of like self-loathing than jealous. And the reason why I'm like that is because like, damn, that person's doing good. And I am so proud of them for doing their thing. But damn, where did I drop the ball? Because I'm the one that like led them to this. So where did I fork up? You know, and for me, like 2020 was more so about like building my business. And it's like 2021, the lesson has been to like let go. Which is, I mean, all the people I've cared the most about, like, all the people. Like, as far as business is concerned, like, you would never think that I have actually accomplished shit looking at my portfolio this year. Because it does not look amazing. My portfolio last year looked amazing. But you know what pisses me off about that? Is that as amazing as I was doing last year, I allowed somebody else to basically use everything it was that I had coming in. I didn't get the chance to save. Shoot, at that point, I barely had the chance to pay bills. Because every time I had it, they wanted it. So, but not really here to like talk smack about people, but I guess that was more so like me having to learn to set boundaries for people in my life. And this really is like a long ass video, y'all. But me learning about setting boundaries for people in my life, because I can't sit here and expect other people to do for me or to help me. Number one, because that's something that, like, my family has showed me. We're not here to help. We're here to scrutinize if you get it wrong, but we are not here to help. Yeah. And we don't care about anything or anybody but ourselves. And for me, I care about everybody, and I put myself last so many times, which is something, like, I'm really working on, because I can't do that. That's actually part of the reason why, as much as I would love to be in a healthy and stable relationship, I am also, like, petrified by the idea of a relationship in general, because I am so self-sacrificing when it comes to relationships. And I am literally, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm literally just not doing that anymore with my life. I'm not going to sit here and sacrifice everything that it is that I've worked on to build for somebody else. I really, I wasn't going for the whole cat thing when I started, but I kind of look like a kitty cat today. I do. Even without, like, the cat ears, I look like a kitty cat. Wow. Yeah, and then, it's the fact that I'm exactly like that all the time. And I like a certain type of person. Like, I'm very picky. Then that's the other thing. I'm so picky. But I think you're allowed to be picky when the universe spoils you. And at the same time, like, I do my best not to trip about things. Because, like, the universe spoils me. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, I want that. Like, for example, you guys can't see it. Well, you guys can kind of see it. But I was like, ooh, I want, like, a cupboard. Like, a little mini cupboard. And I know it might not be, like, a little mini cupboard, but, like, it's perfect. It's, like, this toy refrigerator. And it's kind of exactly what it was that I was thinking about. Because in, like, my mind, I was like, oh, I want that. Or, like, another one, which is a really good one. I was like, ooh, I really want one of those things to, like, put over your toilet. Why did I walk outside and both of them were just, like, sitting there? Like, my neighbor had just got the thing to, like, go over the toilet, and we only have one bathroom, and his wife was like, bro, we don't need that. And he was like, okay, well, you can take it, Audie. And I was like, oh, fuck, yes, yes. So, that was super dope. And I was like, yes. But it's, like, things like that. Or, like, the fact that I wanted a TV really bad. Really bad. And, like, all of a sudden, someone gave me a TV. Brand new. And I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. So it's like the universe spoils me. And I guess this is part of the reason why, like, I get all in my feelings sometimes. Because I'm like, universe, I want what I want. The universe is like, bitch, will you shut up? Just give me a minute to work. Maybe, I don't know, go work on something before else. And you can have what it is that you desire. But, like, I'm gonna need you to shut up and get off my back and go somewhere. It's like, why are you breathing down my neck? If you keep on throwing a fit, then, you're just gonna have to wait. I don't like waiting. I'm such an impatient person. Patience is a virtue, and you would think after, like, 30 some odd years, I'd get it down. No. Why would I get patience down? It's probably the first time I've put on blue and it doesn't look half bad. Actually, I'm kind of liking this look. I don't know what it is that I did. Half of it's the wine, I'm sure. And you're still like, Dottie, you really didn't drink that much wine. And I'm telling you, y'all. First off, this wine has been in the refrigerator for only God knows how long. Only God knows how long, okay? Number 2, since, like, the beginning of 2020. Number 2, Dottie really is a lightweight, except for tequila. So I will drink a half a bottle of tequila and then be like, yes. Tequila's, I would say dangerous for me, but she's not even dangerous. She's all the things. I really don't drink that often. I really don't do any of the things that often. Oh, and then talking about letting things go, because I haven't gotten to the end of the list of that Spirit has made me let go. Spirit also was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need you to quit smoking all of the things. What? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to quit smoking all the things. Okay. I'm doing fairly okay. This wine is really a true test because I want tequila for the new year. And I don't feel like Spirit's gonna give me the tequila that I want for the new year if I can't make it through this wine without wanting a smoke. A smoke and a pancake. But I like, on the flip side, I quit smoking weed like 2 weeks ago. And it really is true what they say. When you quit smoking weed, your dreams increase. You can actually remember them, bad boys. I've had some weird dreams. You know, maybe the next Metaphysics and Makeup will be me talking about my dreams. Because they're just weird. Not even like super spectacular or anything. They're just like, but yeah, so I had to give up all of that. I also used to be really into hallucinogens, right? And like, I originally wanted to move to like Peru. Well, I still want to move to Peru. Like, you can't tell me that Peru is not where my heart lies, at this point. However, I realized that, like, I don't like hallucinogenics. I don't. Please don't make me do them. Please. Please don't make me do them. Ever. No. No. And there's one that, like, I actually like, but, like, I'm afraid that it's gonna make my skin crawl now. Like, that's actually why I quit smoking weed. It's because I would smoke weed and then, like, my skin would start crawling. And I'd start feeling really achy, and I'm like, oh, damn. Guess I can't do this no more. I don't feel like that when drinking. Or even, like, smoking, but at the same time, I really just can't help but think, like, what if smoking is one of those things that's, like, holding back my manifestations? Because I have a whole list of things. And it's, like, this year, where last year was really about, like, this was, like, simple manifestations this year, not, like, the big things. I really, unfortunately, I don't feel like I got much done business-wise. Like, yeah, I finished both of my books. I'm about to launch a tarot course, and I've became more consistent with posting on my YouTube channel. Where last year I was more consistent, but it was kind of like, I enjoy the Metaphysics and Makeup, even though we need to up our numbers here. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Like, I'm not even that person, but, like, it would be really nice for this to, like, pick up. You know what I mean? Chili Bean, I don't even necessarily do this for anybody else. I really just do this so I can go back and be like, oh, bitch, what up? Because, you know, I like myself. That's one thing that I've had to learn over this years. I like myself. I really don't care what other people have to say or think. You know, and that's something that, like, I've had people come and be like, oh, I love basically how bold you are. Well, really wasn't given a choice, right? Well, actually, I could be meek and mild, right? But that doesn't serve me. That's not who I am at all. Like, look at me. Somehow I ended up coming out to be a whole cat. Who's the cat in the zodiac? Leo. Can you tell where my Venus sign is? Can you tell where my Mercury is? Can you tell? I am basically like all Leo energy with a sprinkle of Virgo. You know where Virgo comes out? This is just like a side note before we end this. But you know where Virgo comes out? Number one, I'm actually a pretty organized person. That's actually why, like, when I was looking for the note cards, I was like, what the fork? Because I knew that I put all my little cards and post-it notes in one thing, right? It was just up under something and I didn't look hard enough. So I'm like super organized. And when it comes to bedroom activities, number one, like, there is a lot of Leo energy there too. Because, like, I'm really fiery, passionate, yes. But, like, when it comes to being verbal about these things, what? No. But if you want to hear some of the freaky things that go along in this mind, read one of the stories that I write. Like, the actual stories, not the books that I've produced, because the books that I've produced were more so work things. I haven't yet finished. There's this book that I've been working on. I've been working on it for 2 years now, I will say. It's been almost 3 years that I've been working on it. But when I tell you that this one's going to be a forking masterpiece, it is going to be a forking masterpiece. There is going to be sex, drugs, rock and roll, Christianity, a therapist. But it's like all the things wrapped into one. And to me, it's super exciting because, like, there is so much, like, we get freaky and dirty and, like, this person's like this and that person's like this. And, like, they're all tied to, like, they have, like, so many, like, little things that are connected throughout. And I actually wrote a forking outline for this. And if you know me, all those, like, little things that you're supposed to do, fork that. An outline? Nah, I don't do that. Why? Notes? Why? Obviously. We've been talking for an hour. So, a little self-absorbed. A little bit. And it's like, I'm like the weirdest combination. I am like a walking oxymoron. I will completely say that. I am like a walking oxymoron because on one end, I care so much about other people. Like, I care so much about other people, and I just want to feed the world and heal the world and help the world and help all the little babies and all the things. Like, I do this not necessarily for the adults. I do this because I care about the children. And, like, if I can help the adults get their minds right, then I can help the children not be poopy adults. That's all I'm asking for here. Like, let's make better adults moving forward. Because some of these adults, there's a reason why I don't just go out here and like, hey guys, how you doing? Let's be friends. Because I want to punch people in the face a lot of the times. Punch a baby. Sometimes I just want to punch a baby. An adult baby. By the way, I live in the town that was featured on Taboo for having an adult baby. No shade whatsoever. However, I have like his mom, his caregiver. I've seen that lady around town. I was like, oh snap! I seen her at Winco last week. Oh snap! I was like, oh wait. Look it up. It's like in the intro. It's like, bink, whoop. It's somewhere in California. You know, like Carmen, San Diego, but like better. Save me. Anybody from like, I don't know, Wisconsin, maybe Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska. I'm trying to think of like the other places that are like close on my like place. Wyoming just sounds like doesn't sound good. Montana, I'll take Montana. Trying to think of like some of the other places that have been on my list of places to like get the heck out of California, but those are like definitely like top tier. Nebraska, hit me up, baby. Hit me up. I don't know what it is about that cold state, because it's just, Nebraska just sounds cold. I don't like the cold. Like, the fact that Dottie is wearing pants right now, weird. Because I can't tell you how many of these I'm probably not wearing pants. Like, I'm dressed, I'm matching, but like, they're not pants. Like, I'm not a huge fan of pants. Like I said, this has absolutely nothing to do with like metaphysics or makeup, or, well, obviously makeup, because I look, let's face it, this is actually kind of a vibe. Alrighty, guys, I have talked for entirely long enough. This is going to be interesting to either edit or upload. We will see. You will be just as surprised as I am, because hello. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because this girl could really use it. And I love you. Have a great day. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Happy New Year, because New Year's better. Bye! Can you hear the wine starting to interact with me? Like, I'm like this anyway. So, I don't excuse me. I don't know if I'm laughing because it's super embarrassing or why I'm laughing right now. Anyways,